Hey, what's going on, everybody? I was planning on doing an analysis after the game last night, but the game ended late, and the press conference or the news conference ran late, so I just wanted to wait until all that was over with. Take a look at the transcripts. I didn't watch the news conference live. Just waiting for the transcripts provided by the Seattle Seahawks, and finally got them this morning through the NFL portal. So I was able to see what Pete Carroll had to say, and then other players who had most play time last night talk about what they saw, including quarterback Cam Miller. I'm going to go with the three players that I was impressed with. And so the game ended in time, no overtime preseason. So there goes that. I talked about last night what I was disappointed with, the first string offense and the first string defense. Now, yes, I understand that it's the first game of the preseason. It's kind of like having spider webs, like you're just trying to like figure things out. But there was other games out that happened yesterday that including like the Eagles and the I'm trying to think of the other team is wasn't the see, I'm trying to back up what I'm trying to say here. But the other game that I was mentioning yesterday was the excuse me for a minute, was the Bengals and Eagles. So saw Burrow throwing the chase for a touchdown. So that's something I was looking forward to yesterday with Geno Smith going back to Seattle. But for whatever reason, the offense was not even in sync. Excuse me. Dealing with allergies again. I always deal with allergies, so forgive me and phone shaking. But the offensive line was I was disappointed with. I know during the whole training camp, the Raiders are just trying to figure out what's going to work best. Jordan Meredith at center, then JPJ at right guard, and call it what you wanted. Wasn't impressed with that. They could not block for dear life for rookie running back Ashton JT, who was stuffed. JT with the time that he played, he only managed, let's see here, negative 1 yard. 3 carries for negative 1 yard. That cannot happen. The offensive line needs to protect him, needs to open lanes for him to do his thing. He can't do his thing if he can't have the offensive line. And I've been reading throughout the whole training camp of what the offense has been doing against the defense, and we didn't see that come to fruition yesterday. Now, like I said, repeating myself, it's a whole different animal when you go against other teams instead of your own teammates, because it gets quite, I hate to use the term boring, because you're seeing the same thing over and over and over. But with other schemes from other teams, you gotta adjust quickly. You need to figure things out. And with Pete Carroll, I think they'll figure that out. But last night, I wasn't like too enthusiastic about it. They give me they give me confidence moving forward. But just another week, they got to enjoy practice with the Niners. Then they got a game against the Niners at Legion Stadium. So, running through the stats last night, Aiden O'Connell, he was... Okay, so I'm going to go 3 disappointments. Aiden O'Connell, yes, I know he threw for 1 touchdown. But he also threw for 2 interceptions. That's bad. I mean, you can saw why the Raiders last season went 4-13 with him and Gardner Minshew at quarterback. A lot of inconsistencies that he saw last night again. Aiden O'Connell, he needs to watch out because he could lose his backup spot to Cam Miller, who I'll be talking about shortly. Let's see here. The other disappointment, like I said, the offensive line. I'm not going with everybody there. Wasn't impressed. They need to work on that. It needs to be better. And then thirdly, I'm going to go with the run stop. Try to stop the run. That Seattle, let's see here, they ran a lot, and Hamadi ran for 61 yards. Now, losing Christian Wilkins is a big thing, because he had a run stopper there. But these other Raiders, they're more than capable of doing that. And we didn't see that last night. Seattle just had their way, and Pete Carroll in his press conference talked about the run stop, not being very good. And again, my apologies for because I'm over here trying to pull up the name quotes. But what Pete Carroll said, he goes, "You see the film already." He says it was a miserable looking first quarter, which I agree because we all saw it. And we didn't run the ball very well in the first half. I already touched on that because the line cannot, for whatever reason, provide lanes to be open for Ashton GT. Yeah, so, those are the three things that I saw. I'm trying to go through the quotes real quick. He didn't talk very much. I'm trying to look for that quote where he talked about that run stop, the lack thereof. He said we didn't do very much of anything very well. And so, let's see here. A lot of penalties by the Raiders. That seems like the common theme for the Raiders every season, no matter if it's preseason or during the season. He also mentioned we protected the quarterback better. Quarterback made their throws. He's probably talking about like the second half when Cam Miller came in the fourth quarter, and I was very impressed with Cam Miller. Here's my three players I was impressed with. Cam Miller stepped up. He looked poised. I know here and there was some little, miscues, but for the most part, he did very well. That's what you want from a guy like him, like a rookie. Now, if he continues to play the way he's doing, he can challenge the call for the backup spot. And if that happens, I gotta say this: the Raiders must entertain a trading Nakano to get draft assets or something. Because if Cam Miller, because it'd be a good thing if Cam Miller continues to play the way he does, so that way he could push Nakano, and maybe the Raiders will decide, you know what, maybe we need to trade Nakano because we can't have Nakano as a third string quarterback. So that's something to look at down the road. The second player that I was impressed with, Jamal Adams. He was flying all over the place. He was hitting. That's something that the Raiders need. I imagine that's what's going to happen during the season, provided that he stays healthy. We get him dealing with allergies again. He was flying all over the place yesterday or last night, looking at the Seattle sideline after he made that one tackle. So that was very encouraging to see from Jamal Adams because on defense, they're going to need somebody to step up besides Max Crosby. And Jamal Adams provided that last night. So I want to see more of that, provided that, like I said, he stays healthy. The third player I want to mention here that was impressive, I was going to go with Shedrick Jackson because of his touchdown. He went for like 74 yards receiving yards. But there was this other Trevin May, where he had a block attempt. He also had a sack. And so he was another. So we'll go with a tie here. We'll go with Shedrick Jackson, the wide receiver, and Trevin May. You always love seeing young players step up. They both did. And so that was encouraging to see. Gives the coaching staff something to look at down the road, provided, keeps using the word provided, assuming these guys continue to play the way they do. Because, the plan is to make the initial 53-man roster. And so those two guys, Shedrick Jackson and Trevin May, I need to work on that name, the pronunciation, were a big lift last night for the Raiders. So there you have it. The game last night, it was ugly from the beginning. I was so, frustrated the way how things looked for the Raiders last night. But luckily for them, they got 2 more preseason games, including the joint practice with the Niners to work on those things to get better. The Raiders did have injuries last night, a non-contact injury to Alex Bachman, so that's not good. Today, Pete Carroll will be talking about the game again last night. The news conference is around 11 o'clock, I believe. It's going to be on the Zoom. So, not sure if I'm going to tune in because I got the link to watch. But nonetheless, unfortunate injury for the rookie, Bachman. Also, Alex Kappa was also injured, according to Pete Carroll. He did talk about that. So pulling it up real quick in case you guys missed it. Let's see here. All right, here we go. So he said, Pete Carroll said on Alex Kappa, he is fine. He had an ankle that's bothered him. He just wrenched it a bit and came back. He played after that. He's okay. So Alex Kappa was kind of nicked up last night, but the bigger injury was to Bachman, who had a non-contact injury. So we'll know more today on his status. So again, my name is Anthony Galvez. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll talk again maybe later today. We'll see.